Hey, what is going on, good people out there in YouTube land? Welcome again to another video here at No BS TV. I am your host, King P, aka the Ice Nine, aka Pastor Offering, aka Big Game James, aka the reason why you're here. All right, now with all that out the way, we get to it. We get to it over here. All right, so let's get into what this video is about today. All right, today's subject is about why you keep getting rejected. Okay, I saw something. It was an internet article or something like that, and it was talking about men not engaging in dating anymore for various reasons. And one of the reasons was rejection fatigue. Now, I found that interesting. Found that really interesting. There's a multitude of reasons why men today are getting rejected. Now, let me preface all of this by saying I do acknowledge that there are women out there who are delusional, things like that. They live in a dream world. They, it's just, those women are just not something that, not something that they're not what you would call an ideal mate. All right. So with that said, this channel is all about truth. So I got to tell the truth. All right. Dig this, brothers. A lot of you keep getting rejected, not because of the quality of women out there. Now, granted, there are low quality women out there. However, there are also low quality men. There are also men who don't want to do the work and do what it takes to actually be a quality man. A lot of you seem to think that, well, because you have the accoutrements of what a quote unquote good man is supposed to have, that's what you are. When indeed, that could not be further from the truth. Now, this is a truth session. This isn't about bashing brothers or anything like that. But I'm seeing too much crying on the internet, seeing too much crying out here in these streets by these men talking about women who don't want them. And there's a reason that they don't want you. There are reasons that they don't want you. For instance, as I said, some of you have not done the work. Period, point blank. The late, great Kobe Bryant. How many of y'all remember his rookie year in the playoffs against Utah? He shot 3 air balls in a row. In one of his last few interviews, he discussed that situation. And what he said was he recognized that he had to get stronger. He had to put in the effort. He had to get better. See, that's an honest assessment of oneself. How many of you have actually sat down and assessed your situation honestly? With no preconceived notions, no any of that. Just you by yourself. Maybe you're in the bathroom mirror. Maybe, you're out and about, you're by yourself, something, whatever. However you got it done, you got it done. And then you made a plan to improve yourself. A lot of you have not done that. A lot of you won't do that. You admire cats that have done it. You live vicariously through them. but you haven't done it yourself. You have to put the work in order to be better. And women are not stupid, brothers. They're not. They're not stupid. You just can't come half-assed and think that, oh, you just gonna get any woman that you lay your eyes upon. That doesn't even happen for cats who have billions of dollars. So what makes you think that it's going to be different for you? It just doesn't work that way. You can sit up here and say, okay, yeah, well, all these women want is somebody with money. All they want is this, that, and the third. A lot of them do, true indeed. But there are a good majority of women who aren't necessarily concerned about what is in your pocket, but they do want to know that you can produce something. They do want to know that you are about something. You are a man of substance. You are a man of integrity. You are a man that makes them feel as if you care about them, as opposed to you care about what they could possibly provide you. Now, again, getting back to doing the work, a lot of you weren't blessed with good looks. A lot of you weren't blessed with height. A lot of you didn't win the genetic lottery. A lot of you haven't won the lottery at all. Some of you are broke as hell, and you want someone to meet you where you are. That's unrealistic. We have to get away from that. We have to get away from that. It's impossible to put 0 and 0 together and get 1,000,000. Now, to be honest, as I stated, women live in the land. A lot of women live in a land of delusion. I don't want to paint all women with a broad stroke, but there are a lot of women who are delusional and what have you. However, there's a lot of men who are delusional. For the most part, brothers, if you got other brothers around you, they'll let you know, like, hey, hey, bro, maybe that isn't for you. Maybe you need to be over here doing this. But some of you don't have that in your life, and it shows. Some of you just have these big delusions of grandeur, and you get upset because you're trying to buy a Rolls Royce with Kia money. The day that happens, please let me know. I'd like to see it. It's not as hard as you think. I mean, now, granted, nobody can teach you how to be charming. Nobody can teach you how to be, nobody can teach you how to have the things that are supposed to be in you, not on you. There is a difference. You can put on all the designer clothes. You can wear, you can have the greatest cars and all of that. But if it's not in you, it's just on you. And eventually, fake only gets you but so far. Now, keep in mind, brothers, I live here in Atlanta. Atlanta is the flex capital of the world. They flex more than Ravishing Rick Rude. I know y'all remember him. It's all about flash and looking like you're somebody, even if you may not be anybody. So I'm aware of what's going on out here. But see, there's also a large number of women out here. There's also a large number of women out here who are just, they're not on that nonsense. They're not on that, they're about their business, and they just want somebody who's going to be in their lives that's actually going to be about their business too. And you just can't be no average bum, you're thinking that, that you're going to slide by. That's just not going to work. And a lot of you are upset because you're learning that women have gotten on game too. And so you're mad, especially you older cats. You older cats, I have a huge disdain for you older cats because a lot of you older cats are not on game like like you're supposed to. And now you sitting up there spewing that nonsense to these young bucks. That same bitter rhetoric. You weren't anything back in the day. You weren't anything back in the day. Nobody was choosing up on you. Nobody was worried about you. But you worked your, 30, 40 years, 30, 40 years at your job. You got some seniority, you retired, you got your nice little pension going on, you know, you went and bought you your first, BMW, Benz, or whatever it is, late model, whatever, you live in a semi-decent neighborhood and, you think that you've made it. So therefore, you feel as if the women should be just falling at your feet. Man, if you don't get the entire hell up out of here, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Nobody cares about any of that. What have you produced throughout your life? What have you accomplished throughout your life? And I'm not just talking about being able to buy some toys. I'm not talking about being able to go and trick off somewhere in a third world country somewhere. I'm not talking about that. It takes a lot more than that. So stop kicking that nonsense to these young bucks. They need to understand the real. And the real is that, hey, you have to have your ish together. You have to be on point. You have to be on point. You notice that men who have their thing together don't have women problems. They don't have women problems. Their problem is getting rid of women. Because, hey, if you put in the work, you do your thing, you stay on your grind, you stay on your purpose, the rewards will come. It's just what it is. Now, another thing that keeps you cats getting rejected is a lot of you are corny as hell. Y'all corny as hell, man. You don't know how to hold a conversation. You don't know how to dress. Or if you do know how to dress, you overdoing certain things. You just got a whole lot of corniness, going on with you. Now, hey, there are some women out there who like corny. But see, your problem is that you're trying to go and get women who are into corny dudes and trying to force them to like corny dudes. Nah. Doesn't work that way, Chief. Never will work that way. A lot of you keep getting rejected because you're not trying to play in your league. A lot of you want to be at NBA All-Star level when you're really not even good enough to be the fifth man at LA Fitness. But you somehow convinced yourself that you need to be up here. And so you keep getting rejected and you've somehow convinced yourself that, oh, it's not them. It's not me, it's them. Man, that's more ass backwards than an IG model. But hey, you have at it. You keep going the way that you're going. A lot of you have vices that come out and do you harm. Some of you are actually clever enough and good enough to actually get in there. You get a woman's attention. You can keep her attention for a while. But then your vices start coming out and doing you harm. Some of you brothers drink and smoke too much. I'm not knocking anybody for doing what it is they do or whatever. But again, we telling the truth here, so here's the truth. Some of you, you rely on that drink and smoke. And you put yourself in situations where you can either do harm to others or harm can be done to you. And you X yourself out of the equation. You may be able to get to get up on the porch, but you don't get in the house. You don't get in the house because, hey, you can't handle what you're putting into yourself, what you're ingesting into your body. You derive courage and everything from chemicals and substances. And a lot of women aren't willing to put up with that. So, again, these are some of the reasons that you brothers keep getting rejected. Now, you can sit up here and listen to all these other cats or whatnot, and they tell you, oh, well, these American women ain't about nothing and whatnot. You need to go and get your passport and what have you. That's fine. You go and do that. But at the end of the day, you can never run from yourself, because everywhere you go, there you are. Eventually, if you're going to get what it is that you want, you're going to have to do what you need to do. Otherwise, while you sitting up here thinking that you've outsmarted the game is going to show you that you're just an old ass fool. But hey, these are just my opinions. No harm, no foul. Hopefully somebody hears this and they say, hey, yeah. Or maybe you say, man, whatever, man, whatever. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. But these things kind of, bear themselves out. But with that said, I've rambled on long enough. Do me a favor, good people. Before we head up out of here, leave me a like, comment, and also subscribe, share, because, I'm trying to grow this thing. And, yeah. And until next time, good people,